Chop chop. Magic time.
Hey guys, Kiwi here. In this video, I'll be breaking down the deleted scenes from Better Call Saul Season 4, along with more specifically discussing one of Lalo Salamanca's deleted scenes, which we were able to get writer-director-producer Tom Schnauz to comment on for us. Warning of spoilers for Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul up to Season 5, and let's jump right into this. So the main reason why we're doing Season 4 first instead of Season 5 is because for a while now I've wanted to discuss Lalo burning down the travel wire, which is our first deleted scene from Season 4, Episode 10. We see Lalo burning down travel wire and exiting the building. This is quite a quick deleted scene, so why is it important and why am I so excited to discuss it? Well, some of you already may be able to tell, but let's give a quick recap and explanation. In Season 4, Episode 10, Lalo goes back to the travel wire a second time after losing Mike at the parking lot to find out where he may have gone. For Lalo to find out where Mike is headed, he jumps through the ceiling and attacks the employee to get on the computer and check the security cameras. Now, this doesn't become too relevant until Season 5 when Mike goes to Jimmy to defend Lalo after Mike got Lalo arrested. We learn that Lalo actually killed the employee and burned down the building. This became significant to Jimmy's morality due to Jimmy having to defend Lalo, who killed an innocent young man.
Mr. de Guzman, murder in the first degree, robbery while armed with a deadly weapon, tampering with evidence, arson.
Your Honor, my client waives the reading of the remaining charges.
Who's that?
It's gotta be his family. Fred Whalen. The guy who died at the travel wire. You know what Salamanca did, right?
I am aware.
What about Fred from Travel Wire? Was he in the game?
No. There was a lot wrong with what happened then.
Yeah, Lalo. Lalo killed that guy. And for what? He killed that guy, and we're helping him. All this shit. So he can get out of jail and just get away.
Feeling so bad about the victim's family is the final straw that actually caused Jimmy to snap on Howard due to Howard catching him at a bad time.
Have you thought any more about the job?
Yeah. You know why I didn't take the job? Because it's too small!
So Lalo killing the employee and burning down the building turned out to be a huge plot point in Season 5. And my main point here is that initially, most of us just thought that Lalo knocked out the travel wire employee and left the building after finding out what he needed to know about Mike. So since the employee had only appeared to be knocked out in Season 4, it was a surprise to learn that Lalo had not only killed the employee, but he apparently burnt down the building. When I first heard about this in Season 5, I was very confused. I felt like I'd missed a scene or forgotten something that had happened. So although it's no big deal, it was slightly confusing or surprising for a portion of the audience, myself included, because in Season 4 Episode 10, it looked like Lalo had only knocked out the employee. Yes, Lalo had his gun on him, but we don't see him shoot or hurt the employee. We only see the camera cut to the legs of the employee lying behind a desk, and from what I see, it doesn't look like there's any blood. So when I saw this deleted scene actually showing Lalo burning down the travel wire, I was shocked that they didn't keep it in the episode. I've been wondering why they deleted this scene for months and months, but now we finally have an answer. Thanks to Eric Broadbent, the host from the Inside the Gilliverse podcast over at Metal Gear Network. Eric does a weekly show where he interviews the cast and crew from the Gilliverse, aka Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and El Camino. I was speaking to Eric about this Lalo travel wire deleted scene, and Eric was kind enough to ask the Tom Schnauz about it for me. That's right, Tom Schnauz directly wrote back to Eric to give us all an answer for this deleted scene. So let's give a big shout out to the Inside the Gilliverse podcast. They have great guests on every week, and Tom Schnauz even co-hosted a multitude of episodes as well. Eric Broadbent is a great host. I'll try to link their stuff on screen and at the end of the video in the description, all that good stuff, so you can go check it out after. Alright, so jumping right to the chase, what was Tom's answer? And I quote, "The fire wasn't CGI. We had one shot inside of Lalo walking out a travel wire with a flame bar in the foreground, and a second shot outside with Lalo going to his car and smoke coming out the door. The shots were okay and really ultimately cut because the episode was so long and not critical to the story. We didn't know when we cut them in season 4 that the Fred/Travel Wire facts would play out in season 5. So this reply answers all the questions I had about this scene and more, so let's break it down bit by bit. First off, about the fire, Eric and I were brainstorming about why they could have possibly deleted the scene, and we thought that maybe they didn't like how the fire looked. Turns out the fire wasn't CGI, they actually put a flame bar in front of the camera. So that's cool and all, but the main takeaway here is the second part of Tom's answer. The scene was cut because the episode was too long, and they figured that the scene wasn't critical to the story. Now, that's in regards to the season 4 story. If you take a look at the season 4 finale, it's true. Lalo burning down the travel wire and killing the employee doesn't relate to the season 4 story, it relates to the season 5 story. And to conclude Tom's response, he says that when they cut this scene, they weren't aware of how the season 5 story would play out. So in hindsight, even though we may question why the scene was deleted, in reality the scene was deleted before they even knew that Lalo was going to get arrested for it and that it would play a huge role in season 5 with Lalo killing Fred and burning down the travel wire. And after thinking about it, after Lalo breaking in and the employee and security cameras both seeing his face, it makes sense that Lalo would want to destroy the evidence. But that's not the problem here. Keeping this scene in the actual episode could have saved some confusion from the audience in season 5 in regards to the charges against Lalo, but hindsight is 2020. It's a pretty short scene and it's kind of interesting too. I feel like they didn't need to delete it, but as Tom said, they thought it wasn't necessary for the story and what they were trying to tell to wrap up season 4, and they didn't know that in season 5 they were going to take those few facts from the deleted scene and run with it the way that they did. Now I find this deleted scene so interesting that I honestly could have just made a video entirely about Lalo burning down the travel wire and that's it, but then we'd only have a 5-minute video and there's a lot more deleted scenes from season 4, so let's move on to the next one. Deleted scene 2, also from season 4 episode 10.
Out there about 200 yards. You better clean it up.
This scene starts with Mike waiting for Tyrus and Victor to show up, and when they do, Mike tells them where Werner's body is and to clean it up. Since Mike just killed Werner, he's in no mood to talk, so the scene is fairly quick and quiet and ends with Mike getting in his car along with Tyrus and Victor walking towards the body. This deleted scene takes place right after Mike kills Werner, which was a huge impact on Mike's character throughout season 4, all the way up to the season 4 finale when it finally happens. The way that the episode plays out, after we see Mike shoot Werner, we immediately cut to Gus showing Gale the hole in the ground that will become the super lab. Gale leaves and Mike's standing there, implying to Gus that the job is done. This deleted scene would have been squeezed in there in the middle right after Mike shoots Werner. We would have seen this deleted scene and then it would have went to Gus and Gale. It's pretty self-explanatory that some of Gus's men would come and take care of the body. That doesn't necessarily need to be shown on screen. I feel like it was better for the episode to cut it right after the dramatic moment for us to linger on the reality of Mike killing Werner, and that's it. I feel like we were already able to grasp the concept of Mike being very upset over being forced to do this to Werner, and I feel like the scene was just redundant, showing Mike being upset about what he just did, and then it was very self-explanatory with Gus's men coming to clean up the body, so I guess they felt like it just wasn't necessary to show this part on screen. The Mike killing Werner scene is very cold and emotional. You're meant to be left in shock and awe, with the kill leaving you feeling sad and empty inside.
There are so many stars visible in New Mexico. I will walk out there to get a better look.
It's a very depressing moment, and the episode did a great job holding on to that moment as something very memorable. Cutting to the deleted scene right after would have taken out some of that emotional effect. So in that sense, I could see why they would cut this scene, but then they would leave in the scene of Gus showing Gale the hole in the ground that will become the super lab, and then Mike standing up there implying to Gus that the job is done. Mike clearly didn't want to do it, and Gus knows that, but Mike can't speak up against Gus, so there's that whole dynamic going on there, and it's really interesting. Deleted Scene 3, Season 4, Episode 9. This scene shows Kim limping on her crutches in a fake cast, only to run the rest of the way to the car. This shows how excited Kim gets when she pulls off a successful con, unable to even contain herself until she gets back to the car. As Kim approaches the car, Jimmy is standing there clapping his hands, giving a round of applause for her magnificent performance as they get in the car and leave. This deleted scene happens right after the teaser for the episode, which consists of Kim and Jimmy conning the clerk of the Department of Building Safety at City Hall. They're successful in their scheme, which was to trick the clerk into allowing them to swap out the Mesa Verde blueprints with a different copy. The deleted scene happens right after they accomplish their con, with Kim on her way back to their vehicle where Jimmy is. Now, this may be besides the point, but that was kind of risky to reveal that they were faking it before they got in the car, don't you think? It's very unprofessional and quite risky and irresponsible of Kim. What if someone saw Kim running to the car? That could have blown up their story. I mean, even if they didn't know who Kim was or why she was there or what she was doing, just imagine walking down the street and then seeing someone take her cast off and run away. Like, isn't that gonna raise some suspicion? I'd definitely do a double take. Now, it does look like a completely dead parking lot. I guess we're to assume that no one else was there. Maybe the only person in the building was the employee that they conned, and considering that Jimmy is standing there clapping his hands, he doesn't seem to be too worried of anyone seeing. So, am I overthinking things? Did they delete this scene so people wouldn't overthink him being so careless? Did they decide that they didn't want to show them being so careless on screen? Or maybe we already saw enough of them being happy in the episode over their con being a success that they felt like this extra scene of Kim running to the car was unnecessary. Deleted Scene 4, Season 4, Episode 8. The scene shows Nacho sitting on his couch with two of his girly friends, but he's zoned out. He seems to be upset about something, which the scene emphasizes by just slowly zooming in on him. This really reminds me of Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad, because there's a lot of scenes just focusing on Jesse completely zoned out, whether he's having a party, whether he's with some friends, or alone, due to the traumatic events that he's been through. This deleted scene of Nacho is actually an extension of a scene already in the episode where Nacho gets home after ripping out the earring of a dealer working for the Salamancas, which he does because Crazy 8 is too soft on the dealer for being short on cash. And then Nacho asks Crazy 8 why he didn't do it himself.
I'm a little late, yo. Couldn't do nothing about it. We gonna make you right next time.
You goddamn right you are.
For sure. Next week.
Hey, come here. What you owe with interest.
You had to do that, man. The guy's not gonna learn otherwise.
So why didn't you do it?
This mirrors an earlier scene where Nacho actually beat up Crazy 8 in front of Hector for being short on cash as well.
You're light. Make it up next week.
Thank you, Nacho.
Who works for who? Huh?
Nacho! No! No, come on! No, I'm sorry! I'm sorry! Nacho! No!
Nacho beat up Crazy 8 to please Hector, and now that Crazy 8 is sitting where Nacho used to, he's teaching Crazy 8 the same way that he was taught. Anyways, after Nacho gets home, he mostly ignores his girly friends and instead looks at the fake passports made for his father and himself. He's clearly stressed out about his entire situation, which is where the deleted scene comes into play. This shows how uncomfortable Nacho is just worrying about the well-being of his father and himself from the entire situation that he's in. And not only that, but this scene also shows how affected Nacho is by having to rip out that dealer's earring, which is similar to how Nacho accidentally stitched his hand after beating up Crazy 8. Although it may seem like Nacho is jaded to violence or okay with it, he's actually not, and these scenes really emphasize that. Deleted Scene 5, Season 4, Episode 7.
Michael, another day, another day mark. Is this right?
Another euro. Yes, of course, you are correct.
This next deleted scene is very short and simple. It shows Mike loading up Werner's crew into the laundry truck to go to work building the super lab. Werner greets Mike as he walks in, and Mike gives him a box of chocolates for the ride.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Just a second.
Marzipan. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Michael.
In the actual episode, this scene is still shown, but it's shortened with the conversation cut, and instead it's the beginning of a music montage set to the song Big Rock Candy Mountain. The montage consists of Werner's team being loaded up and then arriving at the laundry, along with entering the hole in the ground that they're constructing. I suppose that they filmed this to be an actual scene or a group of scenes with actual dialogue, but due to time restraints, lack of interest, or possible other reasoning, they decided to chop it all up into a montage. It seems like they had two options here: leaving the scenes with actual dialogue as normal, or turn it all into a montage to music. I wonder if they went into filming the scene already with the knowledge of these two options being possibilities, or if it's just something that they figured out in post-production with editing the actual episode. I thought it was quite interesting to think about. Deleted Scene 6, Season 4, Episode 6. This deleted scene shows Kim walking into Mesa Verde, with Paige presenting her with a problem that she has yet to tell Kevin about. Apparently, while creating their new branch in Park City, the planning board disallowed the big cowboy statue due to, and I quote, it being outsized commercial signage.
The planning board disallowed it. They're calling it outsized commercial signage.
Kim quickly thinks of a few twists and turns that they can do in order to solve the problem, such as saying that they'll pass it off as art, as a public amenity, and that they'll even hold an art show to prove it. The scene ends with them going to the elevator, with Paige acting impressed, and Kim just responds by saying, as long as Kevin gets his giant statue.
It's artwork. It's a public amenity. The artist is a well-known Native American sculptor. Worst case, we hold an art exhibit in conjunction with a hearing. Let's see how the planning board feels about that.
Oh my God, what a relief. I did not want to have to tell Kevin. Your boss is a genius.
As long as Kevin gets his statue.
This last line that Kim says, although lighthearted, definitely has a subtle tone of undermining her boss. Kim seems to think of Kevin as some giant meathead who just wants his big cowboy statue to be happy. This scene also brings attention to not only the huge Mesa Verde cowboy statue, but the Mesa Verde cowboy logo in general. Now, this deleted scene was for Season 4, but as we know in Season 5, the Mesa Verde logo became a huge talking point for Jimmy and Kim. This was just one part of their plan to mess with Mesa Verde, and this was to get them in trouble due to their logo being copyright infringement, which a term that YouTubers know all too well. Near the end of episode 505, Kim realizes that the logo is stolen, and she gives Jimmy a glaring smile right as the scene ends. And then afterwards, in the same episode, we see Kim researching the logo on her work laptop, which, by the way, is kinda dumb, but my point is that we get teased that Kim is planning to do something with the logo, and it's not until the next episode, episode 506, where Jimmy takes things overboard and has his big show and dance with it. If they left in the Season 4 deleted scene of Paige and Kim talking about the cowboy statue, it could have been great foreshadowing for Season 5. But also, if they left it in, it could have brought too much unwanted or unnecessary attention to the statue for the audience, so the cliffhanger at the end of episode 505 with Kim grinning at Jimmy, it wouldn't have worked as well. If they already had the Season 5 events planned out, they probably cut this due to wanting to keep things clever. But since this is Season 4, do you think that they even had the whole Season 5 Mesa Verde logo arc planned yet? Just like with the Lalo deleted scene, we have to keep in mind that it's possible that during Season 4, they hadn't yet thought of the events that happened in Season 5. So it's possible that they had a minor scene planned with the Mesa Verde logo in Season 4, they scrapped it, and then elaborated more on it during Season 5. Regardless, this deleted scene shows that they had ideas for the logo long before it became relevant to the audience. Deleted Scene 7, Season 4, Episode 4. This deleted scene is a bonus scene of Jimmy working at CC Mobile while he's waiting to get his law license back. A mother and her child will walk into the store, and I swear that's not the beginning of a bad joke.
Afternoon, folks.
Do you have a bathroom?
No, we don't. But P.F. Chang's does. It's just around the corner.
Thanks. Come on, honey.
Now, this is exciting for Jimmy considering that he hasn't gotten any customers, but they just want to use a bathroom. Jimmy tells them that, well, they don't have one, but he directs them to where they can find one. As they leave, Jimmy grabs a small CC Mobile stress ball and gives it to the kid.
Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, here. Take one, it's free.
Say thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime.
This is the same stress ball that we saw Jimmy bouncing off of the wall all shift, just like how he's bouncing off of the walls to get more customers. I assume that this scene was cut due to time restraints, as we already got the gist of Jimmy being bored at CC Mobile in the actual episodes. Not much to go into on this one, pretty clear cut and dry. I've been thinking about doing this as a new series on the channel, breaking down Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad deleted scenes season by season.
Jesus, what have I gotten myself involved with here?
Not sure if I'll do Better Call Saul Season 5 next, and then just jump all around the place from there, so let me know what season's deleted scenes you want me to break down next. The main reason why I wanted to do this video in the first place was Lalo burning down the travel wire because it just stood out to me so much. I wanted to talk about Lalo's particular deleted scene so much that I almost wanted to discuss it all in its own video, but I ultimately decided that since I wanted to discuss all the other deleted scenes anyways, that it'd be best to lump the scenes together by season. Again, thank you to Tom Schnauz for responding to my questions about this deleted scene, and thanks again to Eric Broadbent for even reaching out to him. Everyone, feel free to go check out Inside the Gilliverse. Now, I've actually been watching the podcast for a while, I've been a huge fan, I've seen pretty much every single episode, and I really do think it is worth your time. They do a great job over there at Inside the Gilliverse, and I really think that what they do deserves more attention. Link should be on screen and in the description. Anyways, as always, I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything that I've said today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
And if you're new here or just haven't yet already, subscribe and hit that bell notification to stay updated on when I post new content on Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. Thank you all so much for the amazing support that you've been giving the channel, all the great comments that you've been leaving. I thank you all so much for watching, especially until the end of the video. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
See you then. Bye.
Jungs, guckt euch das an.
Ah, ein bisschen Zucker. Danke. Danke.
Kai?
Okay.
Nee, das Zeug ist eklig. Na ja, klar.
Yep.
You never know what you're gonna get.